What is it? It's 15 now, isn't it?
14.
14.
14, man.
Yeah, man. Last one was good, man. The last one was
Yeah,
good,
13
man.
was sick.
Yeah, we're getting there, man. We're getting there, man. Trust me,
Got
it's a
some
good
good
look.
feedback.
Yeah, bruv. Yeah, bruv. You know what? Some guy, yeah, some young, I don't even know if he's a young DJ, but he hit us up in the DM and he was like, look, did you see the DM? Did you read it?
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, he was talking about, he wanted some advice in it basically on something that he's doing. And
Mm.
then he sent it to me and I gave him a little bit of feedback and he's off with it. And so it's nice that people value what we're saying and value our opinions and that, you get what I'm saying? So it's a good look, man. So this week, what we got in store for them this week?
Well, this week, obviously, over the last couple episodes, we've had a little talk about 24 for 24.
Mm.
Obviously, last week it was still running, innit? So we couldn't really get the guys on.
Yeah.
But obviously, it made 10 grand plus.
Brother, I think it was making money like right up until afterwards and that.
Yeah, it was. But it's made 10 grand plus so far. And obviously, we're yesterday was Black Pound Day.
Yeah, man, we're making moves, man.
So we got to bring them on and have a chat about 24 for 24, because I think, and I believe you think, it's a very important thing. And obviously, it's helping grow the community.
Yeah.
You took part, I took part. So I think it's only right that we bring them on and have a little chat about it, see what they want to do next, see where, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I'm just sending them the password now. Because, sometimes I get it wrong, so I need to concentrate.
Yeah, quite often, but...
What are you saying?
It is, man. It's what it is.
We say man's blind, yeah? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, bro. But yeah, man. So big up all of those that are checking out the podcast week to week. It's a good look. We'll be in the studio soon. You know what I mean? But what I want to know, like, what kind of topics you want us to talk about. Is there anything you want us to talk about, want us to address? Obviously, we kind of just go with the things that are just happening in the DJ scene, in the DJ world, or like genres of music, and just try to get a different insight. But if there's anything in particular that you wanna hear us talk about, or you want us to get some relevant people on, then we'll do that. Big up all of those that took part in the we done the post and then they were letting us know who they want on. Like, there's a lot of people. We need to start hitting them up.
Yeah, what was the last time you counted? It was like 40, 48 DJs or something that would be.
We've had 48 DJs on.
Oh, okay.
We've had 48 guests on.
Oh, sick.
That's a lot of guests, bro. And like, but they I think we had like 40 odd DJs that they added that hadn't been on.
Yeah.
So that will take us close to 100. Like, you get what I'm saying? So we definitely need to just gotta get cracking, man, and just get them on. So I'm gonna task you with that, Mr. Deck Numeral Uno. Go through the gram.
No, I've got you.
And just start hitting them up and see. Some of them, remember, that just because they're nominated don't mean that they're gonna want to come on.
Maybe they want to do it, yeah.
You know what I mean? So big up those if they do. So today we're gonna talk about 24 for 24, which is, for those who don't know, it was we're gonna talk about it. No point in me even busting. We're gonna find out everything about it.
You can give me a little intro of what it was.
Nah, because you know what it is, yeah. I want.
Okay.
Yeah. No, all right. So basically, what it was an event where DJ continuous. So if 24 for 24, it was supposed to be 24 DJs for 24 hours, just back to back, non-stop, and basically just raising some money to go to the Stephen Lawrence Foundation in light of all the stuff that's been going on in the community or in the world with Black people. So it was, and with the support, the overwhelming support, and the overwhelming people saying, "I'll help, I'll do it, I want to do a set." They ended up doing 48 DJs for 48 hours. Sick.
Definitely.
So yeah, we'll find out a bit about that. So, forgive me, I'm a bit tired.
You say you had a long day,
bro. Last night I was out last night, blood, playing Monopoly with the family, man.
That's a long game, bro.
It's a long game, bro.
I don't even bother starting that,
We started it at midnight.
Yeah, just long. What time you finish?
Oh, the game didn't even finish. Like we left about I don't know, about 4:30. We split it all up.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
I'm a more of a blackjack or like.
Yeah, those
Well,
games are fine, but Monopoly is like it's a family game, innit?
I don't.
It's a warhead game though, you know.
Yeah, I
When you play
know.
that game, you gotta turn into like this bounty killer, like what? Like it's a war thing. It's every man for themselves, you know. Like it's horrible. Ain't no friends in that game.
No, I know that.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
not on it. Too
Nah.
long. Takes up your whole day. Takes up your whole night.
But
So
then they play online apparently.
yeah. I've seen that.
Was it on PlayStation or something?
Yeah, I see people playing it. Bro, how long that must that be though? Playing it
That's the
online.
man. Yeah, man. And playing with strangers must be horrible, man. 'Cause they can be ruthless.
Oh,
They'll be ruthless. But I wouldn't mind playing it online, to be honest. I wouldn't mind. Like, you know, like it's a game that you get a little buzz for. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I ain't played it for years, but playing it yesterday is giving me the little buzz. You know what I mean? Obviously, I've won. All right. I never won, but I nearly. I think I could have. I think I could have. If the game had finished, I think I might. I
you
think
know
I
you
might
can
have.
probably tell, yeah. You know you can probably tell someone didn't win something.
You can tell
Obviously,
straight away. Obviously, you can tell straight away that man's lying. Shut up, man. You liar. Shut up. But yeah, man. So I'm tired, man, because as I said, never got in so late, and then obviously today I was up and doing the Zoom party. Big all of those who
how
took
was it?
part. It was sick, bro. The reggae Zoom party, reggae forever. Me, Deep Clarity, fully equipped,
Gal
loyal,
flex.
loyal squad, Galflex,
Gal flex.
and Mr. Hooley and Jamo Star.
Mm.
Sick, man. Everyone done their thing, man.
Serious lineup, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like I couldn't afford that lineup in a dance, you know. So the fact that they all come and but I couldn't afford that, bro. They were like, but they all come and showed love and done it, and it was a good look. So big up all of those on the Zoom. Is it? All right.
Mm.
So we got a guest here first. We got someone here now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
He rolled
In
in early.
concert.
Yes.
Can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Wagwan.
Tell me now.
We're there up on the gully side.
Mm.
But the Gaza side of the gully still. And
I don't know how that dropped in, but as long as you know where you're at, it's cool.
Run or something.
Right, man got kicked out his yard and that. He's on the move.
Yeah.
That one there.
brother, never the case.
That one
Never
there
the
said,
case.
"Hey, you want to be on podcast? You better go out and do that."
Nah, never the case. Nah, I just went for a walk, a little meditation, hour and a half walk.
I
But
love that.
kind of obviously my timing's a bit wrong, but I'm almost home. So, you know, sometimes I need to just clear the head and meds again and re-up.
Nah, it's all good, man. That's the best thing to do, man. If you know that's what works for you, then you got to do it, my
Right.
bro.
Yeah, Z.
No gym right now, you get me? So this is what man have to do.
Mm.
I hear that.
How's everyone anyway?
We're here, man. We're all good. We're all good. So yeah, let's give it a couple minutes and see if Pleaser walks in. But yeah, so let's do a brief introduction. So feel free to, you know what, the Bossy, but step in first. Tell the world who you are and what you do, please.
You know you weren't listening to
Me? Even Esko.
This one, yeah.
Me.
Tell the world who you
Okay.
are and what you do, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm saying good evening and sticking by it because it's evening now. I go by the name of Esko Clarity, 1/3 of a sound you may be familiar with named Deep Clarity, the remix machine. The name is kind of self-explanatory. Are we getting into bio mode?
Yeah, why not?
I'm not gonna act like I'm not familiar with Deck 1, Deck 2, innit? I'm quite familiar, so I kind of get the program. So I don't know how many years we've been doing this. I feel like the youngest vet though. So
Yeah.
in
Ain't
your own
nothing wrong
time.
with that.
Yeah, always approach this music from an educational standpoint, an upliftment standpoint. It's more than a music to us. very strategic and very meticulous about how we go about what we do. And yeah, man, just an all-round authentic sound boy on a mission.
Love that.
Is he?
Love that. Love that. Love that. And obviously, we've had Mr. Conspiracy already on the podcast, and you know what, we said, you know what, when the guests them come on once, we're gonna just keep it moving, and we're gonna circle back, but it's gonna probably be a big circle, card. There's a whole heap of people. We've got a lot of colleagues, you know what I mean? This is a very big industry, so we're just gonna try and just circle. But Mr. Conspiracy came up with this fantastic concept, and we couldn't even avoid it. We had to get him on and have a conversation about how it went, what it was about, what sparked the idea, and all things 24 for 24. Now, obviously, Pleaser is probably sleeping. No, that man is there already, you know. Sunday dinner, he had Sunday dinner and just itis just kicky, you know what I mean? It happens. It happens. So, big up Conspiracy. Yeah, just let us know, man, bro. Let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about it straight away, man. How did this idea? I gave a little brief explanation to what 24 for 24 was before you guys came on. So just let me know how, like, what kind of thing sparked that thought.
Is this spotlight still on me? But sorry, before you carry on, because I could just see myself.
See it there? There you go. All right, hold on, Cons. Before you start, we got a latecomer in the building. Man, look like he's been in the sun. And they're fully Essex, Joey Essex in the building.
Behave yourself.
Oh, you heard me. Oh, sorry. I thought that was the mute mode. You know, like that little couple seconds where they can't hear nothing. So yeah, ignore that. That was a joke.
Son, behave.
I see. The main screen is still on Esko though.
Is it? How do I stop it, man? Hold on.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I am not doing anything entertaining, so apologies to your regular scheduled viewers and viewers and that.
No, they'll see. They should be able to see everyone.
I was not doing anything engaging at all.
It's all good. Yeah, welcome, please. Welcome back. He's been on. He's been on before. Again, I was just explaining before that Fats and I decided that when we do this, we're gonna just circle, like, try and get as much of our colleagues on board, and then, like, before we repeat guests, we're just gonna keep going around and try and get as many people on, just to get different opinions and different views. But you guys come up with this amazing concept. So all three of you, like, this is like this one doesn't even count. You know what I mean? So you two have already been on. So
what do you mean? What do you mean it don't count, bro?
No. This is what I'm saying, you know. The big explanation. Hold on.
So I might as well just go out of my bed.
No, listen. The big explanation about.
Might as well go out of my bed.
No, listen, bro. Listen. This is what I'm saying. Sometimes I don't know what. It's what, you know, people live out of London. You know, they go on funny sometimes. You know. But listen, what I said was, we tried to have each DJ on once, but because of what you guys have done, you guys have already been on and you're back and jumped the queue. But it doesn't actually matter that you've jumped the queue, because this one is in its own lane. It's not even a part of the circle. So, and Esko is a part of that. So he will be on again for whatever show he's destined to be on. So, as I'm saying, this one isn't a part of the circle. You understand? So you understand now, please? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're good, bro. We're good.
All right. You know what I mean? So yes, all right, Cons. So yeah, sorry, back to you, my bro. Yeah, give me like let me know how you birthed this idea, man, and so we can get some understanding of it.
There's a few bit of energies. Can you not hear me well? Cause I know this wind just started licking up.
Yeah, the wind's a bit mad.
It's a bit mad.
The wind is.
You might have to walk the other way, bro. walk away from the wind.
Walk backwards. Walk backwards.
You know what I mean?
Let me put my hood up. There might be I wasn't going to say that because the joke wasn't even going to be that funny. Let me put my hood up. See what's going on.
You know, I'm like that. That's damage limitation. Just stop the joke before it starts.
We're going to quote certain things. But to answer your question,
Yes, my brother.
It's just the energy of the world, to be honest. It started from it's a bit of parts of just the experience within the music business, within my own personal systemic racism, how I felt and how it's attacked onto me. Also part of in terms of the music element, part of the scene where for years there's been conversations where, you know what, East London DJs were together, North London DJs were together, West London were together, South London years ago used to be the most divided in terms of DJs. So it's like, where you've obviously done, or you brought us together with Christmas dinners every year without fail. I don't think I've even missed one, right? But that is a unification in itself, and the energy there have always been dope. Even when it's just bants and cracking joke and good food, and people are late, so late that they turn up when we're about to go home. But that kind of energy, that all of those little things, pockets of things, is kind of brought up. And obviously, we see in the Black Lives Matter movement, George Floyd, too many things. Pleaser, he had event, I would say, on social media. Like I say, putting in my own personal circumstance.
Okay. I think the Wi-Fi where you are. I think the Wi-Fi where you are, bro, is a bit mad. Not the Wi-Fi, your reception.
The 4G or 5G, whatever. This is 4G. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. So basically, I'm almost home anyway. My Wi-Fi top up still, so we're nice. No. Certain man Wi-Fi.
It's sometimes, when you're just bossy about something. Like you got a son who can do a backflip and that, and then you tell your brethren, and when they show them the backflip, and then he flops. Like sometimes it happens. You know what I mean? My Wi-Fi turn up. You get home and it just don't want to work. You know what I mean?
Man, pay for the extra thing. So
it better work now, bro.
No,
all right, what we'll do is we'll let Pleaser talk, innit?
Go to Pleaser and then come back to me.
Yeah. All right, Pleaser. So from your perspective, how did it all start up?
So for me, it was a little bit away from the music. Is how I felt personally about everything that was going on, just around the world in the UK. It just got to a point where, like, I started feeling a bit angry. I won't even lie. Like, I started feeling like there was something bubbling up in me, and I didn't even know how to deal with it. I was just like, that all this racial tension and all this, like, you start thinking about everything that's happened in your past. I went to school in Eltham, so we had to deal with that stuff on a daily basis, innit? And then just little things that you had to deal with there and there, from a promoting point of view, where you're on the phone and you send an email and everything's cushed, everything's nice, and then when you turn up, the date's not available no more, or they don't want this type of music no more, or the venue hire, they want 30 grand, 50 grand for the venue.
For the bar.
They want
and then they return it 2 months, the bar spends being licked, and all these type of foolishness. And I think just everything that's going on, I'm seeing social media posts and like colleagues and people that I worked with, and people just weren't getting it. You know what I mean? People weren't getting it, and it started to bother me. It started to bother me where, like I said before, I started feeling mad angry. I'm not an angry person, so I didn't like it. So what I done, I thought, let me just talk in it. And I had no script, no nothing, but I just thought, let me come on Instagram. I'm just gonna vent. And I'm just gonna talk how I feel. And it was after when the football man, aka BNP, aka NF, aka Britain's First, aka the English Defence League, and whatever name they decide to come up with, them and there, they decided, they're coming down to London to protect statues or whatever. And you know what? Being real, the anger in me, I thought, you know what, can't we go down there and just rock up these, man? And honestly, that was my first thought. But then I dressed back and said, that's not me saying that. That's my emotion saying that. That's my anger. That's everything I'm feeling from before. Is thinking, let me vent out in not the best way, like just the easy. That's the easy thing to do, innit? But is it productive? No. And that was my true opinion. So I started having a conversation with the man about it. I said, "Oh, do we?" Like, them man was like, "Come and go, come and go, come and go." I said, "Nah, man, you man dress back." And then we had a reasoning, and then we both said, "You know what? Everyone is good. There's about 11 to 13 men in the group said, you know what? They agree. It's not productive for whatever reason." So I just obviously vented on Instagram, and it got a lot of traction. A lot of people said, yeah, they needed to hear it. I think a lot of people was feeling the same thing as black people. Everyone was feeling something where it was uncomfortable. And I don't know if you man thought as well, there was just like a bit, you just felt on edge. And you didn't really know what it was or pinpoint exactly what it was. But something felt on edge, and it's like, nah, something needs to change, you know what I mean? And so initially, my one was just a vent, get it off my chest and see what I could come up with. And obviously, Cons reached out to man and said, yeah, he heard it and whatever. And I guess he must have been feeling something similar as well, because then it must have been a matter of days later. I had a dream. One of this Martin Luther King moment. And I don't know, an angel must have come visit him one night, like Mary, and tell him, yo.
Martin Luther Cons, yeah?
Martin Luther Cons, you know what I mean? No, I come and, like, obviously, it was all news to me. I watched the live, obviously, I see my brother going live, so I said, oh, let me see what he's doing. And anytime one of the men are going live, I say, all right, let me go and have a look and listen to see what they're doing. And he was just standing up on road. So I was like, right, okay, let me just lock in and see what he's going to do. And he explained it. And I can't say word for word what he said, but it was very similar to him not feeling good about what's going on and just wanting to make a difference, you know what I mean? Actually, I think what's different this time is that everyone feels like something is changing, but we've got to be more active in being involved in it. Now, we got a heavy influence. Like, we have to, as much as people want to say, oh, DJs this and DJs that, and my man this and my man that, we're more influential than I think we have ever realized. And me personally, including myself, we're definitely more influential, just because we represent our culture.
Yeah, definitely.
So because of that, he's now said, all right, let's do what we do best. Let's put on a 24-hour DJ event. And he's going to collect some money for charity, but it's just going to be about the culture. It's going to be about us. And it's just going to kind of unify everyone and bring everyone together. So straight off the bat, I was just like, I messaged him, I said, yeah, put my name down, I'm in. Wherever you need us to be, we're going to be there. Just let us know in it and let us know the plans. And to be fair, initially that was my involvement. I was just going to say, yeah, you know what, my boy is doing something. It's something that I like. Let me come and take part. But I don't know if anyone knows Cons well like I know him. He's my brother. You know, this brother on. Unless I don't know how you wake up in the morning, cause I feel like you have to put a firecracker on him or like he don't sleep, but he's one of them people that he's got the motivation and the drive to do everything, but sometimes you just need a kick. One rash kick in the back of his head and then he's gone. So obviously I said, yeah, I'm involved, and let's do it. And then I'm sitting down like, rah, this brother, and he put the date out, what date he wanted to do it on the live as well. So I'm thinking, right, you said you wanted to do it this day. I ain't seen nothing since. But I'm already thinking, like, this is a dope idea. This is like something the whole community can get behind, something that all the DJs can unify behind. And I think because we're the representatives of the culture, it'll be a good standing for us to obviously all get behind it. So I just phoned him and said, yo, me and him talk regular anyway. Like I said, he's my brother, we talk regular. I said, yo, what going for this and there? Like, you're talking about live and it's coming up the week after and I ain't seen nothing. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, I got the flyers done and I said, okay, cool. But it's just not me one that needs to know about it, innit? Like, we need to put it out to the people. And he's like, you know, for real, he's going live tonight. I said, cool, I'm coming on the live. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about everything what's going to be happening and make sure the people them know. I don't know who saw that conversation. But yeah, that was a real conversation. All of these lives that we've done talking about these things, they've been completely unscripted. It's been real. It's been raw emotion. It's just been how we felt. at that very time. All the talk came from the heart.
So it's all just organic and that. Just
100% organic. There's not been any script behind it. Even when we said we went live, it was just, let's just go live and make sure the people them know what we're going to be doing. And it was on that live where I said, you know what? I'm going to jump on this with you, my bro. I'm going to jump on it with you. I'm going to support it in the way that I can support. And I said, yeah, I called myself there. I said, I'm VPing this. And that's where the whole VP thing come from. I said, on the live, I'm going to VP this because what we're doing, this is a movement. And I think you're onto something, but we need to work hard now because we ain't got a lot of time and move forward with it. And we come off the live. To be fair, in his defense, the flyer was already done. Big up. Is it EJO Creative? She's done it out of the love of her own heart, charged nothing, and she liked the movement as well and said she'll support and done all the artwork, everything that you saw for it. She done it completely free of charge, put her time and effort into that.
Oh, that's sick, man.
So yeah, and then like the rest is kind of history, to be honest. Like we just started, I think once there was a bit of wind behind it and there was a catalyst and the flames and it just kind of grew. Everyone got on board. It was 24 DJs and then everyone was like, "Bro, what's this?" There was 36 DJs and then there was more selectors and it's like, all right, it's now 40s, 42 DJs or 48 DJs, sorry.
Tell them the conversation, bro. Tell them the conversation. How we even got to the numbers.
To be fair, there was back and forth. There was back and forth because I'll be honest. I was like, have we got enough time to do 48 hours? I'm saying, are people gonna lock in on the Monday morning if you do 48 hours because people got work? We're having enough conversations about this. Having enough conversations about the people coming. Even when it got to 32 and 36 hours and all these things, we're like, boy, we might have to just do another one. And I said, you've already announced a date because we could have just pushed it back. But 1 week later, I started on a Friday and gone straight through to the Sunday. That would work better. And you just start overthinking and doing it. And then, I don't know, we just had a conversation and the cons was like, yeah, you know what? He's like, shall we just, and you said, you know what? Let's just go with it. Let's just go with it and see what it is. And then at that point, that's when it was 36. But there was a lot more DJs that came in after that live and was like, because I think what the issue is that
look at that big look. See what I was talking about, the Wi-Fi. Look.
As soon as he got in,
man, step in his yard and freeze up.
Okay.
Look,
shit, he's gone.
That's what I'm saying.
Gone. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Right, look, Wi-Fi.
He had to do the switch over from the 4G
I get it.
or the 5G to the 6G Wi-Fi. Man's got the space shuttle in his yard. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, I can see that now. I can see it. We got the zebras then behind you as well, you know. That's the natural mystic thing floating. You know what I mean? So go on, continue.
So I think what happened is a lot of DJs may or may not have seen the initial live that he done. And I think I can't really say what happened after that, but whether we reached out to anyone after that point, but I think most of the DJs that come off their own back and reached out.
Okay, so a lot of the DJs that came, like, volunteered their services.
100%, and I think that in itself was another amazing thing. It'd be better between Esko and Cons to tell you about how their man got involved, but I think that in itself was dope. So let them man explain how they got involved, because that in itself was proper dope, man, and just showed the unity and like why I think it was so successful for the people that got involved and why they got involved. So let me hand over. Hand over.
All right. So for the record, guys, as you say, that this is a thing that this is the baby of conspiracy. This is Please Heard Conspiracy's baby.
Yo, big man, yo. Fire for them, Tardy. Fire.
I just wanted to see.
Listen, we just come off.
That was a Jamaican test.
A beautiful weekend, of unity. Don't make
hold on. That was a Jamaican test, because technically, like that, there's nothing. I don't mean anything by it, but the Jamaican in you couldn't allow you. That couldn't allow you to let that pass. All right. So basically, this is Conspiracy's idea, and Pleaser has helped out with it. So Esko is here for the fact that he has been monumental in some of the things in the actual. Okay, so you guys made the product, and whilst the product was going ahead, Esko's been monumental. Even from me, as when I was watching it, I felt that he was monumental in the product being delivered. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
So
let me just quickly just chime in on that, because I think where obviously, you know, you come back and you strip everything back and go, okay, what went well, what did go so well, and whatever. But I think one of the key points was when Deep Clarity come on and they delivered a message. The same thing I said to you, see, when you done your set, they come on and delivered message. All the tunes that was played with a purpose, and there was a reason behind it, and there was thought behind it. But the message was the most important part for me. For the whole thing, there's a lot of DJs that come and go, okay, let me just come and do my set, and it's a bit of fun and all that. Yeah, it is, and it was about sharing the culture, but I think the message was the key part. Where these men come on so early and delivered that message, I think it set the energy for the whole 48 hours.
Yeah.
Which is what I was in awe of the man set. I hadn't reached it. I was driving down, I had it like playing through my car. I was listening to everything that they played and everything that was said. And it just set for me, proper set the energy.
Set the tone there, that's it. So yeah, tell us about the conversation then, guys. Esko and Cons.
So what with the conversation with Deep Clarity?
Yeah. So
complexion. So I'll tell you how it works. So we was near enough going up to 48 hours. So even at 36 hours, complexion hollered at me. And I was like, wait, we're gonna stop at 36. But I already had a kind of a plan, so to speak, on how Deep Clarity can possibly get in, right? To move a DJ around and combine people, because I know that if the man them saw the thing, they're gonna want to be involved. And not just because I know they'd want to support, but it's how they carry themselves as a sound. So if you listen to Deep Clarity properly, and I'm sure you have, and you've taken it in, they don't talk slackness, so to speak. You'll never hear Esko and Complexion talk slackness on the mic. There's always a message. They're always big up and hail up everybody. They call everyone kings and queens. It's not a new thing for them from the last weekend. They actually try and push our culture forward from what I've seen for years. I've been juggling with them, man, 12 years, 13, 14 years ago on house parties, right? So they've always had that consistent energy. And that's what I've basically seen. So for me, after having a conversation with Complexion, I said, look, I've got you, but talk to the man them, get back to me, but hurry up in it, because we need to move with action and conviction. Eventually, Esko and Dropsy independently actually communicated with me. So Dropsy phoned me and said, yo, well, go on, Complexion's hollered at me, Esko hollered at me. And then what we did, I was like, you know what, look at this conspiracy. Esko's
in case you're not understanding what he's saying, he's on the phone to Dropsy whilst I've phoned him. So at the same point in time, me and Dropsy have no communication, and we both phoned him at the same time to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
But that's just the energy. So I said, you know what, forget this. Let's do a WhatsApp call, a conference call. And we literally had a conference call, all three of us, for a good amount of time as well. Just understanding kind of the message that wants to come across. But the thing is, I just said to them, be Deep Clarity. I don't want nothing else. I need Deep Clarity to be Deep Clarity. Because I know what's going to come with that. The juggling's going to be thought about, the speech, everything's going to have a purpose. I know clarity. I don't have nothing to say. That's all I needed. I needed Clarity's energy. So I moved one or two DJs around, and from the schedule, I put them in a position because I know they're going to set off the tone. I had confidence in them, man, there, that they'll set the tone properly. And if everyone can follow suit, see if we're going to have the eyes from early doors, good thing we had the numbers from early doors, decent numbers, it's going to help their energy for the whole weekend. And that's what they did. Their set was a big set. They set their energy, the speech. If you listen to what has been said and how they said it and the song that they followed up with, it was flawless. And I already had high level of respect. And I already told Esko from day one, I said, you need a platinum or gold mic. Told him from time, right? I said, go and buy one. You're taking, right? But he did exactly what I expected and more so as well, as a team.
And it was the highest viewed live at sorry, second highest. Second. Me and Cons come and took it back on the last set.
Right. I gave you. I helped you. I helped you not reach that though. Give me some credit.
No. Do you know what?
Little climb up.
This is all banter because really and truly, even people saying like, man was paying attention to the views, but that was more just to see, making sure we're reaching people with the messaging.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Sometimes you get like, I think not. It's a completely different conversation, but I feel like when we're doing it live and people doing live, like more time, I feel like most DJs are gonna do it for the love of the music and I just want to reach out and whatever. Some people are going, I'm only doing this if I've got.
Yeah, some are number driven.
Yeah, if there's not enough people in there, then I'm not doing it or whatever. So it weren't about the numbers. However, we were paying attention to it because I wanted to make sure we're reaching as much people with the message as possible. Do you know what I mean? And the more people, it's law of averages, isn't it? The more people listening, the more chance you got of people donating and coming in. And them man straight away coming off the bat and put the numbers up high for touching 280s, 290s. Them kind of numbers. So, and when you think about off a page of, at the time when we started, maybe had 1,500 people on the page. That's good numbers.
That's very good numbers. And to think that it was a relatively new page in itself.
It's a week old. The page is a week old.
That's a good look. So Esko, let's hear from you, my boss. So tell me when you got involved, what did this mean to you? What did you feel like?
Yeah, so we got obviously a WhatsApp group in the South, and Complexes hit us both up and said, yeah, boom, this is what's going on. How do you lot feel about it? But I kind of feel like, I'm going to throw him under the bus here, but I kind of feel like Complex was trying to angle his own little set out of there. Like, you know, when the man's talking to you, like, them loaded questions, like, if you're not on it, because we supposed to do it still. We supposed to stand for something, and this stands for something, and all I'm saying is, I'm going to be flying the flag where it's like, chill, bro, chill. Like, everybody's involved in that. So I'm not sure if he had another conversation with Cons or anything along those lines, but I know it was left along the lines of, we'll find out whatever hours go in and we'll fit in accordingly, this, that, and the other. Me personally, my journey with it is once I caught wind of it, I went to Cons' page because I heard that he did some kind of live where he was talking about it. So I watched the whole thing because, you know, people put out initiatives all the time. And people say like they want to do this and they want to do that, and you know, put their best foot forward in relation to our community all the time, but no action don't really follow it, or certain action does follow it, and it's not really action I can co-sign because your ulterior motives for why you want to do what you want to do are really the thing that shines through, and I'm not into them something there. So I have to find out what this is from the purest standpoint, regardless if I've known Cons many a years and done the house parties and this, that, and the other. Aura, energy, all of those things are very much an important part of my life right now. So I need to find out what's going on from the root to the fruit. You get me? So the root part was to go and find out about what Cons has said, and I digged it. I remember him saying something along the lines of he's not going to march, and he said that quite adamantly, which I thought was interesting. And he went on to say that he feels he can do more, and he needs to use his platform to do more, which I agreed with in relation to my personal platform as well. Stick a pin there, because I caught wind of please alight in the initial fire. I started this kind of free speaking and opening up. Because you know, even as men, certain time we don't do that, regardless of the subject matter. Man don't want to say this and that, you get me? But it was beyond that. So I went to see Pleaser's thing and hear what he had to say and hear where his energy was coming from. Which is why when we fast track and get to MVP and the whole movement, it makes absolute and utter sense. You get me? So once I had done a bit of groundwork and found out what the man was saying and where they're approaching it from, we get to the point where me and Dropsy spontaneously called Cons at the same time. We had a three-way call. And those that know Dropsy know that he's a very deep guy. Like,
man.
The sound name Deep Clarity is not a joke. You get me? And shameless plug here, but we got something called Deeper Clarity that's going to give you an insight into that kind of stuff, you get me? So we'll get to that when we get to that. But obviously, the way Dropsy's kind of angled his conversation, his part of the conversation with Con was obviously there's a big focus and a big shift in what's going on in our community. Wider than that in the UK, wider than that in America, wider than that in Africa. There's a lot of focus in a lot of places on what go on with Black people in general. And if we're not careful with this message that we're trying to deliver, we can end up trying to embody and incorporate everything and not get any substance out.
Yeah.
So the fact that he led out with the Stephen Lawrence thing helped us kind of say, okay, well, we know what this is about and we know where we can go with this. We know what we can use for our little mustard seed and where we can grow beyond that. But it's a UK thing first and foremost. Without no doubt, we ain't, you know, turning our backs to the American situations and whatnot. But it's not just George Floyd.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest about it. It's been going on for ages now. Yeah. So much to the point where I'm embarrassed where I don't know all the names, but you cannot keep up, especially from a UK standpoint.
It's mad.
So once we establish that, so I'm listening to the both of them speak about it, and Cons is speaking about it from his perspective and saying how he wants it rolled out and rare tear. And I'm thinking, okay, as a mic man now, what's the message? Because that's how I approach this thing. You know, you speak to, you guys have spoken to mic men and all of that kind of stuff, and Fats your one, Pleaser your one, and whatnot. But the way I go about my science is always, regardless of what event, what's the message here? What am I trying to convey to this audience? So I'm silent on the phone whilst trying to get a feel for that. And then the option came up where Cons is saying to us, there's such and such a time that may be available, or there's second, right after I started. So instantly, once that's been presented, we're like, okay, cool. We'll jump in right there, because I feel like within the there's bare levels to it, because obviously we want to represent the culture, we want to represent the community and all of that kind of stuff. But I feel like we've got to set examples as DJs as well, certain time, because a man will hear about that. And his first questions would be, let me see what other caliber of DJs are involved in it before I co-sign it. Or I want to play a certain time of night as if it's dance, or whatever the case may be. Or I want to seal it, or I want to do this, that, and the other. And we just thought, we collectively came to the conclusion that because of the way that we see it, because of the energy that we feel behind it, because I'm totally like saluting Pleaser and Cons for the acumen to carry this out as well. Like, it's not an easy thing to do. I definitely want to fit in that slot there, in that second slot there. And you know, even that, like, it's dumb, innit? Because I was thinking, even so, one of the DJs is gonna say, "No, I'll play second, I'm gonna play a tour and I'll them something there." It gets that pathetic, innit? But I'm saying, like, right, I'm gonna step out and take on that there. One, ain't none of you gonna say nothing, because like, if you're really gonna be like trying to like be disrespectful about us playing number two, like, then obviously like we can speak about that. Us and about it, you know what I'm saying?
What? Do? All right, sorry, I'm joking. Go on. Sorry.
Brother, your name, for example, yeah. Just let me give you an example of, you should know better with me. Your name is C6. 6, yeah. Multiples of 2. So if 2 is a dodgy number, then the fact that it's involved in 6, such an instrumental part to 6, would make you triple times dodgy. So, for example,
Esko, he's made 2 on here as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
There you go.
And he's made 2.
So you're really embracing the 2 more so than me. So if I was, I would stay on my side.
I heard C6 ain't even got a middle name, just a first and last, 2 names.
That's the one.
Hold on, I thought we were all mates. I thought we were all mates.
Of course we're mates.
What is this? What is this? Gang up on? Is it gang up on me day? Allow it. No, it's all love.
You got some of the baddest hosts in the room, blood. They're gonna get you,
fam. This is what, you know what? I'll take it.
Not this episode, bro. Anyway,
C6 love bully man off in every episode.
Yeah, not this episode, bro.
Today, bro.
We say you met your match, boy. Yeah,
matching with you, bro. There's no match, fam. That's weird, bro. You're coming with lots of weird stuff. No time.
Keep talking about the other stuff. Come on.
Okay, cool. Revert back to all right, cool. So yeah, long story short, we decided, yeah, boom, that's the time we're going for. And then just the days building up ahead of that, like, it was so real, like none of us communicated with each other about what we're going to play and this, that, and the other, but there was like a real focus behind using this as a platform to speak to not only our community and our people and this, that, and the other. Because even when we do the first live we did, for the first hour, we did what we called a well-being check. In the heartbeat of lockdown, so I did there, see, we did a well-being check just to find out in the first hour, like, how are our people? Like, you know, you're actually going through it. And I don't know if your lockdown experience is the same as mine. So things of that nature, like how can we get all of these things and then move it along and get the message across and tie it back to the things that really matter and this, that, and the other. There's a lot of thought process that went into it individually. And then fast forward, come to the Saturday, it was just, time to go. Because, that's what I was saying. There's a message to deliver to the people, them and this, that, and the other. But for me personally, there's also a message to deliver to the community of DJs as well. And that was basically centered around, you don't have to always use your platform for the gotta gal lifestyle and the hype up and this, that, and the other. And if you are going to come on this live, it is going to generate attention. There are going to be numbers, but don't stray away from the message. Don't stray away from what we're really here for. You can't stray away from the core of it, because that's what tends to happen with a number of situations that us as people are involved in. There's not enough of us really behind the cause, backing it and pushing it forward until we get the result that we want. We drop off too soon, you get me? So it was just about, like, if we could start that energy and hopefully keep that going, because Pleaser and Con's got a bag of things doing outside of DJing and whatnot. But if we can kind of get that theme going, let's go. And then me personally, if I can follow on with that, with like what materialized into from you having fun, drop the funds. That was the continuation of like, all right, guys, we know we're going to make the people them have fun, but remember, we're trying to get the funds in because we're trying to do greater things and whatnot. And whoever saw Con speaking with, was it Stuart Lawrence? Then the way that he spoke about the money being used for tangible, transparent things within our community, that's exactly, you know, the end part of the journey.
Yeah, sick. That's sick. Because you know what, even myself, like, I found about it when we was doing the podcast, and we had Tynos on that particular week, and Pat was like, "Oh, yeah, you seen this thing, the 24 for 24?" Like, I'm like, "No, what's this?" And he's like, "Yeah, they got 24 DJs for 24 hours." I'm like, "What? 24 DJs? And I haven't even been hollered at. What is this? Like, what is going on?" I didn't understand it. Like, so the Tynos come on and was like, "Nah, this is what it is." The man named like 24 DJs, just boom, quick volunteered. Like, I said, swear down. I phoned Cons the next day. He's like, "Yeah, it's now 36, but we've locked it up." I'm like, "What? Bruv, well, make it 37 because I'll need to be involved." You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what? I waited to this to actually address this as well, because I proper misunderstood. I feel like before you even hollered Cons, you hollered at me.
Yeah. No, I hollered at you both.
You know what? I misread your message because you said, I think you said something along the lines, is the DJ lineup sorted? Or has it been dropped, or has it been released? Something along them lines. And I took it as, are you promoting it? Are you promoting the DJ? What's the full lineup? But when I read it back afterwards, I was like, rah, that was you reaching out saying, rah, is it sorted? Big man in type thing, innit?
Yeah.
But I was like, I realized like way after, but I think by this time he was already on the lineup.
Yeah, I think
way after.
I messaged you lot, yeah, and then I'm thinking, hold it. I just called Cons in it and better chat, and I'm like, bro, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's 36. I'm like, bro, I don't know, but it's gonna have to be more, innit? I'm like, to be honest, I know. Look, we've had 48 DJs on this podcast as guests.
Yeah.
I know, like, if more people hear what's going on, I didn't hear it. I follow you guys. For whatever reason, I didn't hear it. I know we can get 100 DJs. We can do a whole week. Like, I'm like, let's like, I don't care how many we got to do, but I need to be in it. He's like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
and
we're gonna make it 48.
Between me and Cons directly after, all now, the amount of DJs that's reached out, and like DJs that we know, DJs that we don't know, and some said they didn't realize and they didn't know and all that, which is fair enough, but it does show, like, even if they did realize but they didn't really get what it was or whatever, and they realize afterwards, it still shows there's a level of unity. And even if it's more, even if it was that this was the catalyst to create the unity between it, then so be it. Like,
100%.
so if there's a DJ that watches this afterwards and going, I didn't reach out because I don't want to look like that guy, it don't matter. I'm saying right now, it's all love and unity, innit?
Yeah, well, listen, I reached out, and these are my brothers.
I reached out, blood.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, in fact, was like, I'll jump on anything, because I was even saying, like, in fact, we could just do a set together. But anyway, I'm like, cool, all right, I need to be on it. During it, I was listening to, like, the sets and that, and I didn't hear Deep Clarity set. I didn't hear it, you know. Yeah, it's mad. But yeah, I didn't get to hear it. I would have wanted to. I'm being nice, bro.
He said vegan, bro.
Oh,
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Yeah. Anyway, but I didn't get to see his set, but I was listening to some sets and I was like, you know, I was like addicted to it. Like, I kept sharing it with people. I just wanted to, and I kept just checking it, you know, driving here, and when I get to my destination, I have a check, see what I go on. So I didn't hear a lot of sets, but I'm like, all right, cool. I've got my time. I got my set. I don't know what I'm gonna play, but I ain't playing no foolishness. I'm just gonna come in. I'm gonna uplift the people. Them, you get what I'm saying? I come in. Obviously, I didn't know what the guy before was gonna play, so I didn't want to plan it, because you know, anything could be. You know what I mean? So I've come on. I just started just playing. I ain't looking no forwards. I ain't looking nothing. I just want to uplift everyone. Do you get what I'm saying? So now, being told that there was a few people that had that same kind of vision, as Clarity, which is as you know, and I would have guessed that, and Melody. You know,
Sweets as well. Sweets.
Yeah.
Sweets. I don't know if you lot are familiar with Sweets.
Yeah, no, Sweets.
I know you, but I didn't see his set though.
He come on. He's still on the page now. He come on in the early mornings, 6, maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, and just done a nice. You know, just a niceness. Like, it was. You see how Esko said before, like, it was a mental health check and mental well-being check and all that. It was one of those ones, you know, first thing in the morning, them type of tunes, just the soulful, neo-soul type of thing that just put a spring in a step in the first thing in the morning, and just early rising type of tunes. He put some thought into it. It was nice. Like the proper type of thing you want to wake up and hear and just uplift you on a Sunday morning type thing. So
yeah, but that's what we need, because you know what, I was thinking about it, and certain part of me was like, all right, cool. Our music is our music, innit? And I love it. I love the slackness. I love the badness. I love the hype. But I also love the upliftment. But sometimes we got easy with the hype and the slackness. You know what I mean?
There's a time and place, isn't it?
Yeah, bro. I did the set. Yeah, go on. Sorry, go on.
So sorry, see, apologies for cutting you. So you had probably one of the most intelligent, sonically good sets, in my opinion, in terms of the way in which you constructed your set. Right? It was a very smart set. Sweets, I definitely second what Please is saying. You had Butch Cassidy. You had Chopo Daffy. Not many people know him. So he plays funk R&B.
Okay.
So these are like tracks where they're in the smooth funk kind of vibe, but they're popular R&B hip-hop tracks that have been converted and re-sung over. So if people listen to his set sonically as well, it is a very good set, and it offers a variation. Because you know what I mean, on my live I said, you know, I don't care if you play pop, soca, dancehall, garage, house, let's just try and have a bit of variation. And then when he hollered at me, I was like, Chopo Daffy, for example, I said, all right, cool, you know what, yeah, I know what you're about. I've secretly just watched you in the corner, right, and I listened to you because I like the kind of smooth music, R&B type. So cool. And certain man when they ask, so certain kind of things just fitted in nicely. And your set, yeah, bro, your set was genius. I don't even know if you planned it like that, but your set was genius.
I didn't plan it, but these are tunes that I like to play around my kids. I like to just play in my life. Do you get what I'm saying? So I know I've got a good amount of tunes in my head that I know. Listen, when I play these, I feel good. But I had someone crying.
Yeah.
They messaged me and told me, said they're crying.
But you would draw out them kind of emotions out of people. And just to touch on the fact that you said this is the kind of music that you play around your kids and whatnot, this is what I'm saying. I'm like, it's poisonous for us as DJs, as outlets of this music thing, to just push out one narrative all the time. And whilst we're being crabs in a barrel fighting to play the number one set and this, that, and the other, and the top 10 music and this, that, and the other, it's just consistently pushing out the same narrative all the bloody time. It's long overdue, man, for take control of their own journey and say, boom, I want to set up my sound like this. And don't get me wrong, you know, I'm not here to preach and this, that, and the other, and tell people, oh, you can't do that and you shouldn't do this and rare tear. But just give a little bit of thought process behind it, because at the end of the day, this is the creative thing, you know. Like when you stop putting the thought process behind your creative juices and all of that stuff, your juice run out and you're dead out here. So, please, like, put some thought behind it, like, and stand behind what you believe in, eat from the most minute thing to the most major thing. Because just going back to Fats as well, I watched that podcast when Tymus was saying it and Fats was talking about it, and Fats literally said in the podcast, I'll go there, I'll stay, I'll do whatever. And people, believe you me, from Fats got there, he stayed there. And whoever needed to have a mic man, he was there. No problem. Man will go on his in his booth, do what he's doing, hold his meds, crack 2 joke, have 2 serious conversation. But when it was time to work, man was just there, ready to work. Ready to work all the time. And it's all of those little parts. What I'm saying is, like, I never told him to do that. You never told him to do that. In the same way, we never spoke about your set and this, that, and the other. So everybody has it within them, because they know it's for the greater good and whatnot. But it shouldn't be just in these circumstances when we start to think in that kind of manner. You get me?
But this is the change. Like, let me tell you something. No one sees my children. I don't put my children on social media. During my set, I'm calling my kids, yo, I got them all coming on showing them off. Nah, look at my young king right here. These are my young queens. I'm showing off my pic to them. You get me? And then I got next people. I got caught up, and that's the feeling of how great it felt. You get what I'm saying? And no disrespect, anyone, no matter what set you played, the fact that you are a part of something great. Like, I look at this and I'm saying, listen, I was explaining it to someone. I'm saying, listen, we raised £10,000. We, plus. 10,000 plus. We, because every single person had a part to play. Every single person had a part. Like, nobody did it. Like, no one did it on their own. Like, if I when I was playing, let's just say in the morning, they were like, okay, I remember waking up to a message saying, look, we're on 6,000. Hopefully we can get it to 7. If we keep the message going, it getting to 7 is fantastic. But I never get it to 7. I'm just being a part of this. I'm a part of this fantastic thing. And the people are buying into it, and I'm just a part of something. So that where it got to is our hard work. And the longer we stayed on, the more money we're gonna get. It's just standard. You get what I'm saying? And I felt great to be a part of that. Do you know what I mean? It's an achievement. I look at the figure. I look at what it's gonna. In fact, looking at the figure, it gives me certain feelings. But when I see the tangible evidence, like what you asked the guy, Stephen Lawrence's brother, that will make me feel even better. So if they build a park for some kids, for example, I would look at that and be like, listen,
I was a part of that.
Yeah, I was a part of building that. Do you get what I'm saying?
But you know what, see though? There's as much as like the money was a big deal, and we're gonna see the tangibles, and we held Stuart accountable on the live and said, listen, we want to see this because this ain't the one and only time we want to do it, but we want to know that.
Give me a second.
You gonna mute. You muted, bro.
Yeah, I'm still listening. I'm just got to go and do something.
No. So as much as the money was there, and the money was a decent amount, it was a good amount, it's something that we all could be proud of. For me, that wasn't the biggest part. For me, what was important and what I was most proud of was showing that when we come together as a community and we all had one goal and we all worked together towards it, we achieved it.
Yeah, definitely.
And just the unity that was seen amongst the people, amongst the DJs, about people using the platform in a positive way. I think any time you went into a live, you felt nothing but love for everyone and everything. And then there was solidarity between everyone as a people. Everyone's coming in and, yo, my sister, my brother, my king, my queen. Like, it just felt there was so much together and we was moving forward together. And I think it was a solid example of what happens when we as a black people come together and move forward to the same goal. We can actually achieve what we want to achieve. So for me, that was always the most beautiful thing. When I actually dressed back and actually had a think about what we achieved, it wasn't the £10,000. It wasn't the 10.5, almost £11,000 now. It was the fact that we came together as one, and we made something happen. Do you know what I mean? And it just shows, like, let's put that on a bigger scale. It's not just about money. We can make change as long as we all want it and we all work together. And it's down to everyone playing their part. The DJs, like Esko says, putting that message out and being positive with the message. Like, obviously, we're going to enjoy our music. The music, as much as that music's a part of our culture as well, isn't it? But at the same time, it's also the DJs putting out the message. It was the people coming in and supporting. There's people coming in and commenting and showing love to each other. There's other people going out and sharing every day, bothering. There's people sending out broadcasts, people WhatsApping, and there's people donating. Everyone had their part to play. Everyone's doing the other thing. People are sharing. Whatever it is, everyone had their part to play, which we all done as a community. And it's just an amazing testament to just say, yeah, apply that to anything now. Apply it to anything. We want to tackle systemic racism. We just need to do it on a bigger scale. I'm not saying DJing, but it just means we need to work together as a community, have one common goal, and we can do it. It's shown us we can do it. Do you know what I mean? And I think that was
I think that was the actual bigger message. Like, it just shows that, because even like what Esko said, like, obviously a lot of the time people talking it, they say they're gonna do this, that, and the other, and then it kind of doesn't happen, and then life just kind of goes on. You forget about it. Obviously, Cons then made it happen, innit? So once he made it happen, it's like, okay, this is happening now, innit? Do you know what I mean? So listening to, like, even me, like, I've logged in from the beginning and I'm listening, innit? And then obviously I was all getting ready when Deep Clarity were playing, innit? I got in the shower listening to it because the message to me was strong. You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening. I couldn't tune off, bro. I'm listening like, I'm in the shower getting ready. I'm like, bro, I kind of knew, like Con said, bro, just roll whenever, innit? But obviously I know, innit? Let me roll and do my set with sticks, innit? Do you know what I mean? So I've come for that set in it anyway. But I just was listening the whole way, do you know what I mean? And taking in the message. And I feel like Deep Clarity set the tone for the rest of the 48 or 46 hours or it was left, you know what I mean? And it kind of just set the tone for everyone, do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So that was sick to me.
100%, because even as much as I was involved and I kind of knew like how I wanted to go about it, I didn't think about I didn't put no thought into the message, which I thought I probably should have. But then, like I said to Esko, I was driving down to Ends and I went to go and pick up Tanos. All pick up Tanos. Anytime I go, I'm not them man that bib and wait for you outside your yard, innit? So I'll either drop you a text or I'll come and ring your bell. But I'm like, bro, my thing's in the live and these men are playing, so I don't want to come out of the live. These men are talking, well, I'm not even joking, these men are talking the realness. So I'm like, I don't come out of the live. I just left my phone in the car, the windows down, the thing's playing. Like, I had it loud anyway, I was jumping out loud. I just come out the car and went, knock man's door, the thing's just playing. I come back in the car and just waited. Yeah, this man was talking the realness. And then what happened is just made me think, right, when I talk, it's not just about the donations. It's not just about hyping everyone up. It's about making sure that energy is there, making sure the message is there the same way. And that was off the back of, it's an each one teach one moment. Do you know what I mean? And I think everyone's kind of, it was a domino effect. Everyone went along and heard the last person, you heard that person, you heard that person. And then it went along the way. Do you know what I mean? It went along the way. So yeah.
So
definitely.
Let me just ask you lot, because Cons ain't said or Esko yet. Obviously, throughout the weekend, didn't you would have listened to a few sets here and there. I didn't catch everyone setting it. So I'll say who, like, for me, like, with regards to the message, Deep Clarity is set, bad. C6 is set, bad. I caught Policy set, a bit of Policy set. I enjoyed that. But obviously not every set is going to have the message or every set is going to be, I mean, some of them are about the vibe, innit? So Policy set, I caught that and there was a vibe in it. And I caught some of Milk Tray's set and that was a vibe as well. Obviously, big up everyone that was involved. I caught a lot of sets still, but those ones were like highlights for me throughout the weekend, innit? So I don't know if you lot do have highlights or not, but if you do, innit, who was like a highlight for you throughout the weekend?
All right, I'll jump in quickly. For what I did listen to, I liked Taylor Ray's set. Taylor Ray, the 14-year-old DJ now.
Yeah, you said that last week as well, innit?
Yeah. Like, it was refreshing for a couple of reasons. Obviously, just for our young talent to be given a platform and, just given a chance to showcase their skills and show people what the future is and will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, she's on point. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's on point. And that particular young lady, well, obviously, since I did the DJ class about 5 years ago, I've been hit up by loads of parents. And her mum hit me up 5 years ago. Said my daughter's interested in DJing, but she lived way over north. So it wasn't something that I could take on. It wasn't something that I could do. But, so I was like, whatever you do, I wish you good luck. I can't really help you because but anyway, I've kept an eye on her, seen her do some things. And, me and her mum, like, follow each other or whatever. So to see that, testament to her, she's stuck. One thing I really like is the fact that 5 years ago, she wanted to do DJ, and 5 years later, she's still doing it. With kids, it always changes.
Yeah.
Don't do DJing, one lesson, I don't like DJing. It's crazy. So, I mean, it was good to see that. So her set really stood out for me. I also liked, what's his name? XL, Big Business. I enjoyed, I didn't hear too much of it, but while I was just up getting ready for my set, he was there, donated live. That was such a nice thing to see him do. So
Extra large.
He puts his time in and he put his P's in. And I just think that's dope. You get what I'm saying? Leading by example. I think that's dope. And then just sets in general. Like, I don't really want to do it like as in this was better than that, because that's not what it's about. The highlights. I watched Fats and Sticks. I enjoyed that. You know what I mean? But I was kind of pissed that I wasn't in that place.
Yeah. Nah, do you know what? The vibe in there and the energy in there was mad still.
That's what I think needs to happen. That should have, if it was 48 hours in there. Yeah, I know it sounds a bit mad, but that just watching it was a vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then Longers came on, and Conspiracy's been learning this hosting thing. I see it. Sometimes he speaks quicker than he thinks. He wise himself. There's a bag of pauses. Yo, pick up these beautiful men in there. So what are you? That's the kind of his mind's quicker than.
Pause on that thing.
His mind's quicker than. Wow. Not because people can be beautiful people, innit? But because of how quick your mind you speak, and so, but you're getting much better at hosting it. So it was good to see you do that. Long as the set was proper, like strip club vibe, Miami ATL. if you've been ATL and you've been, and that took you back there. So that was also a nice thing to see. But big up everyone, man, like everyone.
But you say as long as that them.
Yeah, bro.
Like that.
Yeah, people are flinging ones in there. That's you know what I mean.
Make it rain, yes.
Bare £1 donations going up. Well.
Yeah. One man does 100 ones, like that.
I think for me, the highlights of the weekend were Taylor Ray had. Let me be 100%. So Taylor Ray had for me the most impressive set. So, and the reason why I say the most impressive set is because, as we all can guess, at that age, there's still a lot of education that has to come with it. And that education can only come when you're in a club and experience and time. So based upon the age, the type of music she was playing as well, because the variation of music, that you have to love music for the variations of music that she played. So from once you're playing, she played burial, jungle, she played dancehall, hip hop, etc. Old and new. So for me, she had the most impressive set in terms of the complete highlights. Like I said, Policy, Simon, Milk Tray, Melody set. He started with a speech and he ended with a speech. He even mixed in. I was there, innit? Like, people don't know the full backstory of how many times I've had to drop some equipment to DJ, next little things. Like, people don't know the full ins and outs of just to make that happen.
Part the things then. That's why you're here, bro.
All right, but I'll address that after I do the highlights then.
Okay, that's for the biography and that. Gotcha.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll say it on the podcast, but to answer the question that was posed directly, like he finished with Martin Luther King's speech, which I said, nah, bro, you can't start with a speech. I'm there with my son on Father's Day, and I was like, and he's watching while I go on, and I was like, you got to finish with a speech, right? So he literally was like, oh, and you got this speech. I was like, no, I know the speech. I know exactly it. You got to play that. He played it, and then he mixed in a funky tune at the end of the speech.
Ooh.
And I was like, that was on the fly. People don't know that, but it was on the fly. He'd done it. Sweets' set was good. Butch Cassidy, Neo Soul set was good. Y2 Chris Slow Jam set was good. Godfather did the Godfather set, which I know no one else ain't gonna do. Clarity set was, certain sets were at the perfect times for certain reasons. Clarity set set off the tone, which I knew they would do. Like in the dead middle of it, again, melody, again, he re-emphasized it based upon, pardon me, the speeches. And then on the other side of it, then C6 then carried the same energy from what I would have seen, for just in a different way, from melody and clarity. So anytime that you needed to top up on elements of positivity, it was perfectly spaced between each other, if that makes sense. But there were so many sets, like some motion set was fire. There was everybody did their thing. Everybody did their thing. So for me, the highlight was that, you know what, barring one person dropping out, unfortunately because of a circumstance with his family member, everybody had their thing, man. I was happy. The whole highlight, the whole weekend's my highlight.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. So
things musically, things just didn't make, how things happened sonically. We couldn't plan it. It was like, we can try to plan, but if it happens, is another thing. Like, I truly believe, and I'm not sure who's watching this who don't believe in God, or I believe in God in it, right? So things just made sense. Certain way things got placed in. Like when I'm filling out the Excel document with DJs' names on it and etc., certain things just didn't make sense. Like how perfectly they were fitting in. For example, the 8 female DJs back to back. I didn't put them there, so to speak. They just fitted in there naturally, based upon what their kind of aim and objective and musically what they was going to be playing as well. So then we weren't finding that, you know what, Leisha, what's her name, Rio J and Lissy J, right? Them girls, like when they did their set, you can see there was a direct contrast to say Cookie, right, in what she played. So things just worked out, brother. And so the whole weekend is a highlight.
Sick.
It was dope.
Sick.
Musically, it was dope.
Like, if you don't know, so what's this? Policy set. So I'm going to tell a secret. This is, again, only really Policy knows this, right? The people on Policy set, we had 3 artists that was going to jump in Policy set. Policy, off his own back, arranged it and hollered. And only because there was something happening outside the studio why these 3 artists couldn't get in. But if it could get in, if these people were waiting outside in the car, Policy set would have gone for another level.
It would have went off.
So what? No exclusive. Who's the artist then?
Well,
it doesn't matter now, innit? Come on.
Before you say who the artists are, bro, like there was a spiritual element to how everything played out, innit? So like, I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual person. You get me? And the way this thing unfolded and whatnot, like as someone that didn't know anything about that Policy set, I'm kind of glad, bro, because I've reinforced message and that a few times. Can you not hear me?
Yeah.
Because this thing just glitched away. I don't like that, but yeah, I've mentioned message a few times. I don't want anybody to hear it and just think, oh bloody hell, Pastor S and rare this, that, and the other. It's not that kind of party, because I'm an advocate for people full enjoying themselves, and celebration of life is one of the main hashtags you see around the sound and that. However, there's a time and a place to go about something. And for me, there's always a space. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's big, but there's always a space to give our people a kind of uplifting message in whenever we play. If somebody else don't see that, that's their portion, but me, I see it differently. And Policy set, was ridiculous. it was just ridiculous. Like, let's not play it down. Like, his set went off, but he stuck true to himself. So if he, even if he wasn't reinforcing the same message that we were and this, that, and the other, it's like it's more than saying stuff, innit? It's like staying true to your core self, innit? Like don't be afraid to represent what you represent, innit? Because in a row of 48 DJs, you trying to be like me ain't gonna work for you, brother. Don't try and do that. Policy was definitely a set that I would have mentioned. Obviously, it's got quite a bit of highlight, and I don't want to take away the shine from everybody else because I C6. Most importantly, don't matter who played first or last, we all did that together. And bigger than that, the people that was donating and interacting and getting involved in everything and sharing as well. Because some people don't have the peas to put in, but just sharing it and somebody else can do it. You've done you served your purpose. You get me? But I have to highlight that set for musical purposes so that people know it's not just all about preaching and that in your set.
Of course.
And then I would have said the ladies, like the way that the ladies, that whole row of female DJs fell into place on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Mad.
Dude, like
Man.
that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
I want to big up Policy's music room though. Mad thing.
What?
Bro.
Mad thing.
Bro.
It made me look and say, you know what, I like that. Bro, you know what it is? As a DJ, looking at that, I just clapped. None of them proper. I clapped. That's a room, bro. That's a room.
Absolutely.
And I've met him a couple times in Ibiza, but you see he's happy. Or the smile, the energy. Like I think that's too much.
It's that, bro. That's exactly it. That's what transferred through everybody's phone that was watching. It was like joyous. Like, you had that genuine joy in what he was doing. You get me? And one of the things that I said in the beginning, when we started our set, for those that didn't see it and this, that, and the other, was like Stephen Lawrence got robbed of the opportunity of being about now and experiencing what we're experiencing. Yeah, we're in the COVID period of time and whatnot, but he would have probably been tuning into a live here or there and would have wanted to listen to a Top Cats, a Cons, a Fats, a C6, whatever the case may be, but he can't do that. So it's very important that we celebrate life for him in that respect. Like, let's party for him in that respect as well. Now, I don't know what Stephen Lawrence definitely would have been listening to now, but it might have been Policy's round, and he might have celebrated in a way that Policy did, you know what I mean? So the fact that he was able to do that and get across, like, the way he feels, like, through the music and that's what it's all about, man.
Sick, for real. For
So
real.
you know what, yeah, we kind of touched on it, yeah? Because obviously Con said there was meant to be someone who possibly was meant to be on but didn't come on and so on and so forth. If this was to happen again, is there, because obviously there's, like Pleaser said as well, there's been loads of DJs that have hollered and reached out and so on and so forth. Is there anyone, just off the bat of your own thought process, that you would want to see on a 24 for 24?
Great question.
A really good question.
That's, you know what it is? It's a hard one. It's a hard one because there's only one person I really asked to be on the whole thing.
Okay.
Right? The only person I actually asked after I put the thing out is Excel, actually, properly. So Excel already on the big business Instagram page. He already was starting to share it and get the word out and change WhatsApp picture and all them kind of things. I was speaking to him regarding what platform to use because I had multiple different avenues. Man was doing the research. I checked it out, did the practice test runs and everything on different platforms to use. And he was reaching out and saying, you know what? I've got an account which I've already paid for this. If you want to, you can use this and wherever. So he was already inputting, even though he didn't have a set, he was actually already inputting, giving me knowledge, right, to say, okay, what kind of platform can man use to get this out properly? So I said, you know what? It would be an honor. I've got, there's 3 sets left. It would be an honor if you can come in and basically do a set, right? There's a set that I knew I was going to have I knew I was going to have you on the thing because obviously you already reached out to me and whatever. But I was trying to think of what's the best way to finish it. Because the only real methodical approach I took to the set times were who's going to finish the set times, who's going to start, who's going to finish, and who's going to add extra energy. Like the first 12 hours, the top end 36 hours, the end of the 36 hours, and then the 48 hours. Pardon me. That's where I really put any form of thought and energy into. Everything else just naturally fell in. And he was just perfect. He set the energy, he put the graphic artwork, he had OBS set up. Man had the counter, the thing that refreshes on the screen. And then turned around and said, I am donating £100, and you could see the number go up on the screen. And he's the only person that asked to actually be on there. I phoned Godfather and I said, boy, this is what man's doing. He's saying, you're down, yeah? But it weren't really like I was asking him, like I went out my way to ask him, right? He was like, he was giving me the good energy that he wanted to be involved in. I said, all right, cool. Would you like to be on it? And he said, yes. But he was already saying this, if that makes sense. Excel is the only person, I didn't ask not one other DJ. And I made it a thing not to ask. Because I know if I was going to say, message certain man and say, look, this is what I'm doing. Are you down or not? I didn't want to hear no. So for people that, mad, maybe I don't know if it's scared or whatever. I don't think so. But certain people that man's known for years and we have personal relationships, I didn't want to hit them up and say, yo, I'm doing this thing. Right?
Yeah, I know might not have felt good.
It's like, I didn't want to hear that. I said, you know what, let me put it out there and let me see who picks it up.
Yeah.
I'm not watching who doesn't pick it up. Let me make that very clear. Not watching who doesn't pick it up. There's no love lost if you couldn't support it or do whatever you want to do. It doesn't make a difference to me, right? I don't know if you did support. I don't see the I don't want to see any form of negative if a person wasn't on it or they didn't holler. What I do pick up though is the people that did holler, and even if they weren't a part or DJing on it, that supported. We had Tongo, who's into the soca promotion events, and he used to be a promoter and a mic man back in the day, whatever. He was there pushing it. You guys, before you lot was even on it, you guys were pushing it. So what all that did was really, if anything, just topped up on the stock of our brotherhood that we already had. But no one else ain't lost any, but you lot just topped up on it, if that makes sense. And yeah, man, it was dope.
All right,
and,
so let's big up for that though, but let's answer this question now.
All right. I like that. I like that.
You know what? Let me say one, only because I've seen him do a 24-hour set. For me, obviously it might not happen. It could have whatever happens, innit? It's not a big deal. But for me, like an easy, innit? Because I've seen him do 24 hours on his own. So just to be involved in something like this would be sick to me. You know what I mean? And someone of that caliber.
So for me, it's a tricky one now, because obviously you want it to grow, you want it to be bigger, you want to reach more people, and you want to get, if we're keeping it, it's always going to be a charity thing. We're not going to turn it into a profitable thing for ourselves. It's all about this. 24/4/24 is about the community. So whatever money it makes, it's never going to touch anyone's pocket. It's going straight back to the village, is it? But at the same time, it's also not forgetting or shitting on the people that got it where it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's out of the 48 DJs, if we're keeping, unless we change the concept or something like that, it's about, you got to take someone out to put someone else in. And don't get me wrong, I feel like this would have been so much more amazing if we unified as DJs we know our circuit. We've got North, we've got East, South, West, Northwest, and all of these things. And then, remember, there was people from the Midlands. We had Leicester and all sorts, even a DJ from Atlanta that come and done a thing. But I feel like the uni side of it could have been better if there was the heavyweight DJs from each ends that come in and done their thing, represented their side of it, and we had the whole, what do you call them thing there? The North, East, South, West compass, or whatever you want to call them. The whole thing just represented fully. But at the same time, we want it to grow, and we want it to be bigger as well. So it is a tricky one, and there are people out there, like maybe like a Heartless crew. I would love to see a Heartless crew on there, all three of them. All three of them, because at the same time, their energy, and when they're ready, they're with the message as well. They're there. So I think for something like this, they would represent it well. So for me, that would be the person. But I just want to go on record as saying, at the same time, I wouldn't want to shit on anyone that got it to where it was. You know what I mean? Because of them, that's why we're here now.
But what you must understand, yeah, the reason why this question, because me and Fats were talking about it last week. This is the third week we've been speaking about it, and that's because it's a valuable thing. It's worth it. But yeah, what we was basically saying is, obviously you lot got volunteers, innit? You got volunteers. Like you got 24 DJs before I even heard about. You had 36. No, you had 24 DJs before I even heard what.
No, I think it was 36. Man.
I know. I think it was 36 before I even hollered at them, but it was 24.
It was 24 before you knew about anything.
Yeah, 24 people had volunteered and were been accepted before I even heard about it. So I missed the boat. I'm like, what? You get what I'm saying? By the time I hollered, the next day, it's 36. I'm like, bro, I don't know how you're going to do this, but I need to be in it. So make it 37 or give man a split a set in half. Like, I need to be in it. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's definitely not about shitting on anyone that's been, like, everyone that volunteered and everyone that's put their time in it. Maximum respect to you. Do you get what I'm saying? However, it's a bit like this podcast, for example. If I don't get to do it, I would love you lot to do it again. So we'll talk about the future of it in a minute. But let's just say part 2 was tomorrow, and I can't be a part of that because there's another 48. I'm still. I have to. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that because I'm not gonna look at it like I never built nothing. I just come and put a brick down. And you get what I'm saying? All of us come and built this house together. You get me? And I think
what you just said there, just to cut in right there when you just said there, because that's perfect. I think that's what everybody's got to have in their mindset. If you can't lay the brick in the same foundation that you did the last time, then how about you figure out a way to, I don't know, carry some cement from the truck over to the car this time? Or how about you humble yourself enough where you're willing to provide refreshments for the man them that's laying the bricks this time, or whatever the case may be? Because I've got some ideas for the Prezi and the VP about how we could do it moving forward in an inclusive way. And I say we because that's the narrative that the man them have said that we should have. It's a community thing. So the more that we speak about it like that, the more that you take it on board like it's your own, and you put 100%. That passion involved in it. So it's important that we speak about it in that manner. But that's what I think it's about. It's more than it being a tough decision for the man them to have to pick and choose this, that, and the other. Every single individual involved needs to humble themselves and understand if you can't do, if you only want to DJ, if that's the only way you want to participate, then you're not really on this participating thing. You're not really on this building what we're trying to build out here, because there's many people that deserve shout outs and deserve homage.
Yeah, bro.
The lady that came and bought us food and refreshments while we was at the at Interlude and whatnot. The fact that Paney allowed us to use Interlude and Issa was used, and some people that was driving around for Cons and Pleaser and this, it's all sorts of people deserve big up. So like, if you only want to be seen to be doing this DJ thing, then that would indicate to me that you're not really in the right place. Because I'm telling you, sometimes it was, and it's not to be like saluting my efforts or anything, but I can only talk from personal experience. So I tried to make sure that every single DJ that played, I put that line in every single bloody something. Not because it makes me look good and people would be, can gravitate towards my name and think I've got a part to play in it, but because it was a theme that once I put out there, Con said, "Yep, we're running with that. We're running with that." So much so that they done artwork and all of that centered around it. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, then let's go with it. And Pleaser's asking me about, is that cool to use? Is it copyrighted? And that, I'm like, if anybody's gonna copyright it, Pleaser, it's gonna be you, bro. But the fact that you brought it up, you're gonna be able to sue me if I use it. It's like that. That's where the thing's at. You get me? So I think that let's just put it out there from early. If whatever happens in the future, if you're not on it, and that, find your way to contribute in the next way.
Real spit.
That's where the energy's at.
There's a next. There's a lot of people that want to be a part of it and deserve to be a part of it.
And if I can quickly chip in with who I would want to be a part of it or something like that. The way I see it, like, I don't know about the DJ wise, but EZ, and Heartless, definitely big. But for me personally, I would like it'll be sick, because obviously Con said that he wants to make $1 million in it. So if from the jump we're talking like that, then let's shoot for the stars all the time, then, innit? And this is not really even shooting for the stars. This is more than doable. But like, if we could have like a spoken word element from like a George the Poet or something like that, I think that would be so sick. Just saying, George, call out your boys.
That's sick. Or flipping, or like Carla speech. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on.
It could work.
There's many different avenues, isn't it?
So many. And that's why you just got to salute these guys for putting this thing together. 100%. Because I tell you what, there's a shift. Like
a purpose, bro. This is
bro.
You're like, you know, when you fulfill something, it's like the thing is, don't get it wrong, you know, like it's not even like, bro, you lot could have raised £1. It's not even about, like you lot said, it's not about the amount. Bro, the time, the effort, the thought process, the bringing together of everybody, bro. Like, you brought together everyone. There was people watching at all hours, like the whole 40.
Crazy.
Like, people were building new accounts.
Oh, remember I was telling you, some girls on their third account, bro.
Yeah, third and fourth account.
Third and fourth account, they're getting locked out by Instagram. And making another
for commenting too much. Instagram saying, you can still. The thing is, you can still watch, but you can't comment. And obviously, they wanted to be active in the comments. And I think even from the comments, it's weird. Like, the comments is giving you energy as well, and giving everyone else that energy as well. So
sick.
I get it.
And you got big up something like Jess as well.
100%.
He was active. You get me?
His set was fire. Zest's set was absolute fire. Set, again, another intelligent set. He was looking at music that he doubts will be played, or instead of beating out too much tune. So Tyner's played it, like it played well, and it carried, obviously, Pleases there hosting, carrying the energy up. So
sorry, I will say this though. I will say this. The last set of the whole day, I don't know if you were tired, Cons, but it was midday. We were rusting. I was saying this guy's auditioning to be Cartel's DJ. He was playing. You were rusting, the swearing, and then Zest was saying at one stage, Cons, I kind of have to dress back on them one day, you know, and you know, I'm trying to edit it, and then Cons is just dropping the next one. Cons was playing. How much swearing can I play in a song? That's what you know what I'm saying. But it wasn't actually. I could tell it was a vibe. You get what I'm saying? And it's the energy and the era of music. I understand it's harder to get the clean one, but I was thinking, Cons has gone on a mad one.
You know,
you saying, Cons, you got the clean? You got the cleans yet?
Fam, I ain't got none of the cleans. But you know what it is? You know what it is? I believed in the host. If I'm honest with you, I could have played anything. I could have played flipping Jingle Bells, bro. Yeah? And I truly believed in Zest and Pleaser. I believed in them to do whatever they needed to do. So like Zest made a vegan remix. It was bad.
Yeah, to be fair, you weren't as bad when I was on, you know. Well, I
no,
don't think
when
so.
I was bad then.
But you weren't as bad when I was on. But when you just come on, you found every black cartel, every Latin cartel tune you could find, and I don't miss it. Man to Gaza Cons.
Gaza Cons. I couldn't believe it.
You know what? I was trying.
The worst ones, the warish ones. Right. BC, BC, Rascal, BC. I was like, what? What's happening with Cons?
Well, listen, like let me put the sleep. Let me break down. If you don't mind. So to answer your question about who I'd want, right? There was one of three people that was potentially trying to get sorted out on. There was Tony Matteron. So I spoke to Twinny and a few people, and I got put into a WhatsApp group with certain artists and selectors and that. And after speaking to Pleaser, we were so close to trying to reach out to Jamaica. I thought, just keep it home, right? The Atlanta DJ hit out on man, so I was like, he hit man up, and I know him because of the countries that are DJing and thing. But the only other person for a different vibe, if it were like a Tony Matteron or a Mighty Crown, EZ for home, or for me, Jazzy Jeff. So I've been. It was either Jazzy Jeff or Kid Capri. So I've worked with Kid Capri before. I've been blessed to work with him and also Jazzy Jeff. So they bring a different kind of juggling that we wouldn't have seen. Like Jazzy Jeff will mix up hip hop with soul, with funk, and he sits on.
Listen, yeah. Have you ever been to a set where Jazzy Jeff was played?
No, I don't think I have.
Not live, not in person.
I've been in Vegas. I went to one night where he done maybe like a 3-4 hour set, and he's got tunes that you wouldn't even expect him to be playing. Man was playing funky house, bro.
Yeah, I played Festival Sky.
Like Napa 2008 house. Them things there. Like he plays different. He's educated on his music and he knows his crowd and what sounds good and what don't. And so off the point, but I was just saying, yeah, he surprised me with how obviously everyone knows Jazzy Jeff and everyone's listened to him on YouTube or SoundCloud or through one way or the other. You've heard something that he's done. But just to be there live and just to see the way he juggles and does his thing, he's actually nuts. So.
That's sick, man. All right, listen, because we're running out of time. What is the future for 24 for 24?
Growth. Growth. Keep it simple.
We get like an exclusive.
Growth.
Yeah, give us. Man's keeping. Yeah, just
scoop right now.
Before we to tell us, you have to tell us the artist that Policy had lined up. If you're gonna skip that, you need to tell us at least one of the three. At least.
We would have had Bushkin was one.
Okay. Right. All right. Two.
So, you said at least one, fam. So I gave you one.
Right, cool.
And I see, as Esko already knows, we don't play the number 2 thing, so we don't cover that. Well, what I wanted to say, take the opportunity quickly, just to give you guys a rundown of this 8-10 days of everything. So obviously you asked me the question in the beginning how it came up about, and obviously man was on the road and walking and that. So clock a morning, had an idea, made a couple of calls in the morning, like to test the idea, what people's opinion are. It's like, yeah, it's great, but I didn't really get the energy of go and do it kind of thing, like go and do it now. It was, it's a great idea kind of thing. Went to work, obviously Pleaser, done his live, seeing the energy of George Floyd and feeling like something's going to change. And I had the same feeling as Pleaser in the sense of, I was fully prepared to go to Trafalgar Square and knock a man out. Let me just keep it 100. Right? I was angry. I felt the energy. I saw a Carla's live, which complimented what Pleaser said. So I calmed myself down and I thought, I'm not going to march. COVID is real, right? Like, I'm not going to try and catch COVID. I might survive, but I might kill off a loved one indirectly and not realize it, right? Even though people will have their conspiracy theories saying there's no COVID, there's this, something's out there. I don't business what it is. I'm not going to be responsible of killing a loved one. It don't make no sense, right? I'm not going to go on march because my problem with marching is, cool, we march today and we make a noise today. But I don't see no one march. I didn't see no one march yesterday. You feel me? I didn't see no one march. I ain't heard no plans of marching tomorrow. Cool. Swiss had his initiative and big up Swiss for trying to boost the black economy. Love that. Right? But again, I'm trying to see something tangible actions, like something that we can say we've done something and there's evidence left afterwards. I have not seen no other marches. I haven't seen someone go to Boris Johnson and say, yes, go and have a sit-down conversation. Unfortunately, we're not always going to get the opportunity to go sit down with no politician. So what we have to do is, you know what, we have to become our own parliament as a community, especially black people, right? And we become unified to say we're going to move forward. And that's where, obviously, the live, again, unscripted, as Pleaser's already said, all the lives that happened were all unscripted, right? And I just said, boy, just how I felt. And I literally just said the thing and we had to action it. From that night, I started getting messages from DJs. My inbox was going through, WhatsApps was happening. People I don't know, loads of people don't know. Oh, you know what? I've shared it with this person. I've shared it with this person. I've shared it with this. One DJ Cookie, I rate her. When she caught wind of it, somebody shared it with her. Pardon me. She shared it with Policy. She shared it with Giovanni Letford, for example. KSI DJ. Pardon?
I said, imagine that.
So Cookie, that one girl, she then started to share it, and then other DJs shared it with other DJs, and it just networked and it was just spinning. So then me in the background, I'm normally a person that I like to have everything ironed out to the T before I show my hand. Right? That was me. So I was up at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning with Emma, EJ Creatives, right? Saying at 4 in the morning on the phone, now that fly's got a little bit like this, because she does Bushkin's artwork for Bush Bash Recordings. So she's reached out and she said, look, someone shared it, whatever. Anyway, so I'm on the phone, look, the original fly was red. And I was like, nah, that looks like a hate thing. Red's usually seen as a warning. Now we've got to change this to black, unification, down to the fist, everything. So I was with her up to o'clock in the morning going through the flyers, telling her, look, make sure you understand that this is a lot of work. It's a lot of hours you need to put into this. And she was like, she was down for it, because on my live, people will hear it. I called out other DJs. I called out the designers that was in the live watching me at the time. Called them out. I said, look, it's go in it. If it's a money thing, what do you want? I wasn't asking for freeness. I said, if it's a money thing, what do you want? I'm about to give this, there's work here in it, there's bread here. Come and take it. People didn't reach out, cool, no problem. You could, I don't know what your personal lives are. She reached out and she delivered, right? So then up until the Monday, it was like, right, you know what, I know the flyers about here, it's gonna be ready to drop today. Man can drop it. Please called me, we had a conversation. It was like, we need the energy. Basically, like, we need to get this. Basically, he wanted to light the fire. I goes, yeah, man's gonna go live later. It was like, yeah, we need to do it. We're gonna go live. Let's do this. Let's have the conversation. Let's make sure people understand that this just wasn't a gas talk, etc. We went live and everything, as Pleaser said, everything that he said, he literally VP'd it on the live. Something hit him and he just went with it. And I was like, I'm not gonna say no. I know he's gonna keep me on a straight and narrow in a sense of, I'm not gonna digress and too many ideas, because I'm a man who just get bare ideas and want to do too much. And I'm only one person, and he just helped, man, keep it there. I don't know if it would have been the success it was without him. I believe it will still be successful because the people would have got, people's getting behind it, but he definitely added massive amounts of value that I can't equate. There's nothing tangible I can turn around and say that he did, but just from a soundboarding perspective, conversations that we had.
Right, man didn't stay up late. Man didn't stay up all night on the lives.
No, fam, you was playing by like 2 in the morning.
I think Cons has got that word. You see that word here? It sounded so good.
No, but what I mean by tangible, tangible basically means physical, innit? Like physical, like literally.
Yeah, we know what tangible means, bro.
Right? Yeah, see, but what I mean,
did I not stay up? Did I not stay up? Because that was like,
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. Right? So in terms of the value which he added, for me, is basically uncharted. Let me just say that then, right? And then he was up, his voice was mashed up. On the Monday morning, he still got work, the whole thing. Please was like, all right, cool, I'm going to bed now. You're going to bed, all right, cool, no problem. All right, I'm going to be up till 5. Cool, I'll take over from 5, whatever. Right? Those are the conversations. Him making sure things was getting done, things were happening, people was on their lives, this is going on, etc. So he definitely added from that perspective as well. So from a soundboarding, cross-reference, do you agree? Even down to the interview with Stuart Lawrence. So I said, boy, look, my man wants to have a conversation, and look, here's the video, right? He's done a video drop. Before Please even turned around and said, yeah, right? Please already posted the thing, right? Running and owning the 24 page. Most of the things on there was Please, like on the 24 page getting posted, he put up all of the DJs on time, like in order, all of that. That was him. I'm running around doing next things. Now back into me, right, we're going up after getting the flyers out there and dealing with Excel documents and sending it to Please and sending it to, it was things of like, all right, this DJ don't have this equipment, this DJ didn't have that. Man's driving at whatever time or morning or wherever it was to go to a DJ to buck, okay, here's a sound card, here's a TSSR cable, here's an iRig, blah, 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 like different DJs, and here's decks, right? And few people didn't have decks and controllers or whatever else.
Or
so
music.
Sure that, pardon?
Or music.
No music. Oh yeah. No. I don't even want to even.
Listen, Cons, listen. Unfortunately, bro, we haven't got a lot of time.
All right, no. I know, but I'm wrapping up. So there's a lot of energy and stuff that, yeah. No, I'm wrapping it up because I need to say it.
Go on, Mr. Rapper. Go on, man. Go on.
So people have to, like, there's a lot of energy and everything. So again, anyway, you took me off my stride. But kind of long story short, the thing is, it was definitely a lot of work that went into it behind the scenes, right? And my VP done the thing, right? And you know what? The 48 DJs done the thing. And everyone else that helped out, the venues, all the rest of it, It's a Vibe and also Interlude, they represented. And you know what? It could have never happened any other way. I would not say I would change anything from how the weekend happened. I wouldn't change it. All of it was a part of an experience and also learning as well. And I'm happy with, obviously, the result at the end of the day was a brilliant result. And the thing that I'm most proud of, to seal it off, is, you know, I'm proud of the unification of the DJs and the wider community. That's what I'm proud of. I'm not even proud of myself, fam. I'm proud of Pleaser. I'm calling that specifically for doing what like came to him and he done. And I'm proud of everyone that came and everyone in this room. You lot did not have to do that podcast, like on the podcast. You didn't have to talk about it. Facts didn't have to say it. You lot didn't have to do it. You lot were sharing it before you was on it.
Yeah.
Right? Facts. So what I'm proud of is that the man them come together and produce this, and the community, the girls, not just the man them, the girls them, the queens them, come together and produce. So that's what's made me proud. But yeah, let me just say that. I'm done.
Can we get the exclusive now?
No. So what I'll say is next. Next for 24/4/24 is, I'm going to say keywords. It's going to be growth. It's going to be, let's say, expansion. Similar to growth as expansion. What I'm thinking is 24/4/24, but just bigger. So I'm not saying 48/4/48, and I'm not saying 72/4/72. But what I am saying is we want to reach more people. We want to make more money for the village. We want to empower and inspire more people. It needs to be a wider reach. We want to see more young bucks coming up and doing what Taylor Ray done and representing and showing the youth that there is other options out there for them. And it's just all about, on a wider scale, everything needs to now, it's a spider web. We want to get that spider web bigger and bigger and bigger for our networks. And ideally we want to, like I said, Concert is right now we're backing the Stephen Lawrence Foundation, but there's so many other smaller charities that's out there as well. That may need a looking as well. Do you know what I mean? They may need a looking. They may need the community behind them because of what they're doing. So right now I spend a lot of time researching charities and what they actually do. And what are you doing with the money? What are you doing with the donation? So before you get the money, what are you doing with it? So that's basically the way we're moving forward. Con's already, as he does, put the date out there, the 24th of April, which is 24/4. We want to make something huge happen. So we're putting in the work behind the scenes from now to try and make something great.
The 24th of April next year, or the 24th of April 2024?
21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because it's on a Saturday. So we already said, all right, cool. You know what? I haven't even checked this myself. I've taken Con's word that it's on a Saturday, you know. I'm taking word for it. So up here making me look like a fool right now. It's on a Tuesday. It's on a Tuesday. You know the way there, like, right. I say, yeah, big things happening. Like now, fam, I got work. COVID lockdown's over. Man's in the office on that day.
It's a Saturday still.
Yeah, no. So the plan is to make it something so big, wider reach, show love to the people that's got it where it is. But like Esko said, everyone's gonna have their part to play. This isn't and never has been or never will be a conspiracy and pleaser project. This is a community project, and it's all about us coming together as a people. And we just need to reach more people. And the way we do that is by working collectively together, man.
Sick. Brothers, I appreciate you coming on and talking about 24/24. Everybody needs to get and follow that page.
Let's follow the page, man.
That's where all the information. So it's 24_4_24_.
Yeah.
When I was logging in, I was forgetting the underscore. I was like, what?
Yeah. Don't forget the last underscore.
It's all good. All right, listen, you man, don't go nowhere. I'm just gonna stop recording.